from the News Channel 5 network. This is Score on Business.
Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm Pete Hendricks. I'm your host today. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Score is an organization that is all about helping small business and entrepreneurs succeed. We have great content on the show. Then also, there are a lot of folks here at the Score organization in Nashville that are glad to help you. Check out the website scorenashville.org. There are classes that are very low cost. There's consulting that is, or counseling that's no charge. There are a lot of resources. Okay, so let's talk about something interesting. Dr. Urban, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, so Dr. David Urban is the Dean of the Business School at MTSU. His expert comments have appeared via outlets such as CNBC, Business Week, The Wall Street Journal, USA Today, The Washington Post, and the New York Times. So, thank you again for being here. What's up tell us what's new and exciting at the MTSU Business School.
Well, you know, the initiative that we've started just in the last year that I think is really exciting and really will help put us on the map as a premier College of Business across the country is something that we call our Professional Development Initiative.
Right.
One of the things that I have found from talking with literally hundreds of business, government, and community leaders, not just in this region, but outside the state of Tennessee, is when I ask them, what do today's business school graduates really need? It's very rare that they tell me they need better technical skills or that they need another accounting course. What they say almost universally is, if you want to do something, try to instill in these students the soft skills that they will need in order to be successful. And by soft skills, what I'm talking about are communication skills, people skills, teamwork skills, the ability to build and maintain relationships with real people, and not just doing it via texting or via email, but doing it like we're doing it today, face to face. Because at the end of the day, that's where business deals are really made, and that's where the type of ongoing, lasting relationships that really matter take place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You were mentioning a few minutes ago about, you know, writing handwritten notes, and if I want to get a message to a C-level executive at a larger company, I know if I send a handwritten note, he or she will read it. I might not get any action out of it, but I know they'll read it. You know, and thank you notes and that type of thing.
Well, you know, we have at MTSU partnered with the Dale Carnegie organization, and as you know, Dale Carnegie is probably the best known name in professional development training worldwide. Over 8 million people have taken the Dale Carnegie course, and it's time tested. So what we have done at the Jones College of Business at MTSU is established a unique relationship with the Dale Carnegie organization. Dale Carnegie is training my faculty to become certified Dale Carnegie instructors, and starting in the fall, we will be requiring all of our business majors, graduate and undergraduate, to take the Dale Carnegie course as a required part of their curriculum. We're the only university in the country that's doing this. We're the only business school in the country that's doing this. And by the way, because we have an exclusive arrangement with Dale Carnegie Associates at Tennessee, we're the only business school in Tennessee that's going to be able to do it. So we think that our students exposed to those leadership, team building, communication, and relationship skills that are taught in Dale Carnegie will really help elevate them relative to other people with whom they're competing for jobs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you have researched and take a look at entrepreneurs. What are the key characteristics of successful entrepreneurs?
Well, I don't think this is going to come as a great surprise to anybody, but there are some pretty common characteristics of successful, innovative entrepreneurs. First of all, they tend to be people who can connect dots, who can look at seemingly unrelated things and find some connection there. And that's where a lot of their unique ideas come from. They're also people who like to ask a lot of questions. They're not satisfied with the status quo. They are people who ask why and why not a lot. Along with that, they're very good at observing people. observing behavior and seeing how people actually do things and how those things might be improved. They also like to experiment. They're not afraid to try things. And if they fail or things don't work out exactly as they expect, that's okay. It's a learning experience. They learn from those experiences and then move on to bigger and better things. And lastly, they are really good at networking. And that doesn't mean that they just show up at a professional conference and pass out a lot of business cards. They develop networks of associates and prospects and people who can help those with whom they're trying to do business. So they're very good at adding value to the relationships they have with their prospects and clients, which makes it that much more important for those clients to want to do business with them. So those characteristics really tend to differentiate the innovators and the really skilled entrepreneurs from those who aren't. And you know, that's not just an issue for people who are independent business people. Those same types of traits can be fostered even in big companies where we want people to think in a creative entrepreneurial fashion.
I love your comment about not taking failure to heart. The first business I attempted to get off the ground didn't make it, and I'm like proud of it. You know, you make a mistake and you learn from it. So how do they put these characteristics to work?
Well, I think a lot of it, if you're an independent business person, you obviously have a lot more control over how you spend your time, but you have to discipline yourself, I think, to foster these types of things. I think part of it is being able to expose yourself to different types of circumstances, different type of people, different types of expertise outside your own. That way you develop the breadth and the depth that helps you to do things like make those connections between unrelated things. It allows you to observe people in different walks of life and to learn from them. It helps generate the creative juices that are necessary to be able to experiment. Now, if you're in a big company, that big company can provide people with time out of their normal activities to do these things. You know, a lot of very successful companies have allotted among their employees 10, 15, sometimes even 20% of their time to work on projects of their own choosing, not necessarily things that come down the pipeline. And that's the way you really get people to sort of step out and say, gee, you know, I'm just not taking things in and doing what's being expected of me. I'm able to shape my own future a little bit and to think in an entrepreneurial fashion, even though I'm part of a much bigger umbrella organization.
That's how 3M comes out with so many new products, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and that time allows people to think, gee, this failed adhesive that didn't work in its initial application is something that I could put on the back of a piece of paper and stick to another page, and I could pull it off and it wouldn't rip the page. And how many Post-it notes do we go through every single day? Things like that come about from people having the opportunity to think about ways in which they might be able to make connections between things.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you have a huge entrepreneurship major at MTSU. What do you see in students that really excites you? And what are areas where you see that you're putting extra focus on skill set development?
Okay, well, the skill set development, the extra place is the professional development initiative.
And
we talked about that. As far as the thing that really excites me about the students is that they have a tremendous amount of energy. And the task that we have as instructors and mentors and coaches is to be able to sort of channel that energy and also to help them get over this fear of failure that we talked about a little bit and to look at things constructively. I think one of the things that is characteristic of a lot of the students I see today compared to, say, 25 or 30 years ago is that a lot of our students today have had more shepherding, that I might say, more shepherding. And as a result of that, it may be a little bit harder for them to step out of their respective comfort zones.
Pardon me a moment, Dr. Urban, about 30 seconds left.
Okay, so one of the things that we want them to do is to try things and to give them an experience in the classroom and outside of the classroom, so that when they start thinking about what they want to do with themselves, if they want to start their own business, they can say, gee, you know, I've had some failures in a relatively low risk type situation, but those things have given me the opportunity to now say, gee, I've got some confidence. I know some things that I didn't know before. I can do some things that I couldn't do before. And that's really the ticket to getting them out there and wanting to continue to push forward with the innate abilities that they have.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for being here today.
Absolutely,
and
my pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out scorenashville.org. So many resources are available for you. We'll be right back.